Put yourself for a minute or two in that patient's situation. You must feel their pain.
We have a plan to go back to the traditional school, meaning face-to-face.
So no child will be accepted if they have a cold, if they have a temperature as well.
Krishna Pinder, and this is your morning edition. Quite a significant move for Doctors Hospital. The facility indicating in a release that it now offers same-day COVID-19 testing with results available in as little as 4 hours. Now, there's also the capacity to process up to 500 samples per day. The hospital's new laboratory instrument reduces the 72-hour wait time required when sending RT-PCR test samples overseas for confirmation of SARS-CoV-2, the novel coronavirus responsible for COVID-19. Doctors Hospital President Dr. Charles Diggett says it's important to make certain patient care a facility. The hospital anticipates the expanding of its lab space. Meantime, officials have at this point completed 2,447 COVID-19 tests. While this does not translate into the same number of people, the Bahamas continues to make inroads in its fight against the potentially deadly virus. The latest COVID dashboard also indicating that there are 4 active cases with a total of 89 cases in the recovered category here in the Bahamas. Globally, we're now looking at 11.5 million cases, 537,000+ deaths, and 6.5 million recoveries. Meantime, experts say they're a third of the way to a widely available coronavirus vaccine. Well, a 5-year journey ends with the country gaining 35 new doctors. The group, 80% females, yesterday took the oath and received their awards from the University of the West Indies School of Clinical Medicine and Research. The Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis offered up advice not only as Prime Minister and Minister of Health, but a proud father.
Throughout your career as you examine patients, you must always remain humble and demonstrate humility. Put yourself for a minute or two in that patient's situation. You must feel their pain, not literally, but figuratively. You must feel the suffering that they're going through, and you must understand how they feel. And once you put yourself in that situation, you know that just how you treat them is how you too would like to be treated.
Now, Governor General, His Excellency, the Most Honorable Cornelius A. Smith, meantime, challenged the new doctors to use present circumstances to transform traditional medicine.
My challenge to you is that one of you consider COVID-19 as your special research project to unlock the secret vaccine. I also challenge you to be true advocates of universal health coverage. I believe that health coverage is a human right, and that every Bahamian has the right to access the health care that they need. Sadly, there's still too many stories of persons dying because they are unable to pay for their health care services. Non-communicable diseases are literally killing us in the Bahamas. And so I want to challenge you, as young doctors, to lead the charge, to be the example for your patients of a state of good health, and to make health prevention and health promotion the common thread in every disease that you treat.
Give it another 2 months and Catholic schools across the country will reopen under strict social distancing protocols and virtual platforms. Director of Catholic Education spoke to our LaDon Davis on the way forward.
Google Classroom is our platform of choice.
When the school bell rings on September 14th, thousands of students enrolled in the Catholic school system will receive lessons by educators using a variety of learning platforms that promote social distancing due to the threat of the COVID-19 pandemic. Director of Catholic Education Claudette Roll says, once guided by officials from the Ministry of Education and Health, a decision on the official learning platform for the students will be made.
If we were to go back to the traditional school, but we're going back, we have a plan to go back to the traditional school, meaning face-to-face, with some adjustments and making sure that physical distancing is a part of that traditional school face-to-face type of instruction. We also have a plan in place for the hybrid learning, where there is some classes, or there are some classes that perhaps would do the virtual instruction as well as face-to-face.
During the 3-month lockdown, Roll says the virtual learning exercise worked better for students in grades 4 through 12, but posed a challenge for early learners. Additionally, she is pleased to report that despite being dealt a double blow from COVID-19 and Hurricane Dorian, schools on Abaco and Freeport will open.
I think of our school in Abaco, where we have the special needs school. Every child counts. Virtual teaching was difficult for them, and a lot of it you could not do because they need very tactile, very kinesthetic opportunities, and then of course in Abaco, you have limited resources in terms of internet and consistent connectivity. We do plan to open the primary school, St. Francis de Sales. We do plan to reopen that in September. Right now we are really constructing a new administration block, and so our phase 1 is to open the primary school. And so that the plans for that, they're going very well. We do plan to open Every Child Counts as well, but that will be a later opening because there's a lot more that we have to do to make that ready than we had to do for St. Francis de Sales.
Well, preschools and daycare centers will soon reopen, and operators are keen on ensuring they not only understand but are following COVID-19 protocols and measures governing such facilities. For that, 150 of them assembled at the Church of God Auditorium, Joe Farrington Road.
The response was really awesome. We walked away learning a lot of things. For example, it's not going to be school as though back then. It's a new norm in reference with accepting children. Even when they have the flu, we might say, hey, that's sinus, but we have to take the proper precautions now. So no child will be accepted if they have a cold, if they have a temperature as well, too. Now, what we're doing to assist and to help to ensure that parents are happy and they're feeling good at the end of the day, we have everything like bins. Every child will have their personal bins. When it comes to their pencils, books, blocks, they will be placed in a bin for more safety as well too. Because I speak for the Bahamas Child Care Association, but I know the members, and I pray that everyone is on board because at the end of the day, we're dealing with real lives, and we're ensuring that the safety of parents, staff, and students first. And children under 2 they don't need to wear a mask. Any child that's up from 3 and up, they're able to wear a mask. Now, what I'm doing and my members, I advise them to use shields for the little ones, and they have like the little cartoon characters that makes it exciting for them as well too. And then no child will be permitted without a mask. Parents will not be allowed to a certain point, like how we used to do the walking in. That won't be allowed as well too.
Well, when we return, we'll take our first look at traffic. You're watching the Morning Edition. Stay with us.
Bonaventure Medical Laboratory at East Avenue, Centerville, and Sandyport celebrates 20 years of providing quality laboratory services with timely results. While partnering with your physicians and insurance companies, we have expanded into our modernized facility providing EKG testing, the latest in gonorrhea and chlamydia STD tests, rapid tests, paternity screens, online reporting of results, and also phlebotomy training. Visit or call Bonaventure Medical Lab, open daily at 7:30 a.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m., or visit our Sandyport or Southside Clinic locations.
When a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, it is extremely important to be prepared and know just what to do. Stay informed about the storm's path by listening to the radio or television for hurricane progress reports. Check emergency food and household supplies. Be sure you have extra batteries for flashlights and radios. Bring in outdoor items like lawn furniture and garden tools. Anchor objects that cannot be brought inside. Secure buildings by closing and boarding up windows. Remove outside antennas and satellite dishes. Turn refrigerators and freezers to the coldest settings, opening only when absolutely necessary and closing quickly. Purchase ice and store it in an ice chest. Keep drinking water in clean jugs and bottles. Clean your bathtub with bleach and fill it with water for washing and flushing, not for drinking, making sure to keep the bathroom door closed so that small children cannot access the filled tub. Do not go out to videotape or take photos of the storm. Take pictures from inside where it is safe and dry. There is no harm in being overly cautious where a hurricane is concerned. It is truly better to be safe than sorry. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
Continuously go downhill as the system tracks towards the west.
Abaco police confirming the discovery of more human remains in the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian.
This curfew would commence at 9 p.m. tomorrow.
The Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, Department of Social Services, presents a list of 2020 official hurricane shelters. For the island of Andros, Mangrove Key, Burnt Rock Primary, Burnt Rock, Mangrove Key High School, Mangrove Key, St. Peter's Baptist Church, Mangrove Key. For the island of Andros, Southern District, Euthal Rogers Primary School, Deep Creek, Mount Olive Baptist Church, Smith's Hill, Friendship Baptist Church, The Bluff, Cleola Mackenzie Preschool, Long Bay, South Andros Senior Citizens Home, Camps Bay, St. Robert's Catholic Church, High Rock. For the island of Andros, Northern District, B.A. Newton Primary School, Red Bays, Clara Evans Primary School, Nicholstown, Bamsey Building, Bar Community, First Baptist Church, San Andros, Church of God of Prophecy, North Mastic Point, Berry Islands, Great Harbor Key, Church of God of Prophecy, Bullock's Harbor. For the island of Bimini, Gateway Gymnasium, Bailey Town, and Bimini United Burial Society Hall, Alistown. For the island of Cat Island, St. Mark's Anglican Church, Port Howe, Zion Baptist Church, McQueens, Zion Baptist Church, Old Bight, Mount Sinai Baptist Church, New Bight, Holy Redeemer Roman Catholic Church, New Bight, Lovely Zion Baptist Church, The Bluff, Seaview Seventh-day Adventist Church, Wilson Bay, St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, Arthurstown.
Well, at this hour, your traffic should be building. Our Lloyd Allen is in the area of Robinson Road and East Street. Good morning, Lloyd.
Well, it's a wet start to your Monday morning. Good morning, Wacusta, and good morning, Bahamas. We're here this morning at the intersection of Robinson Road and East Street, and I'm joined this morning by a senior team from the Royal Bahamas Police Force, led by Chief Superintendent Marino Hines. He's the officer in charge of the Traffic Division. Good morning, Officer Hines, and welcome to the Morning Edition.
Good morning, Lloyd, and good morning, Bahamas.
So many of us are now coming out of lockdowns here in the country. Some persons still not licensed and experiencing some issues when it comes to driving rules and regulations when it comes to the streets. What do motorists need to know now that they're traversing the streets?
Thank you for that, Lloyd. First and foremost, the COVID emergency orders have given Bahamians an extension to licensing their vehicles. And so the order specifically speaks to them having from March until the end of curfew and then an additional 60 days once that is over. However, what we are checking on is behavioral offenses. We're very sensitive to these times, and so we're quite aware that everybody's kind of experiencing hard times. So what we are doing is making sure that while people are getting their lives in order, we are here to show discipline, structure, and the rule of law. So we're looking at behavioral offenses. We're looking at speeders. We're looking at people who are driving without their seatbelts, people who are running the red traffic lights, and other things that would cause Bahamians discomfort as they're getting from one place to another.
So, of course, those persons are using cellular devices as well. That's an offense currently as well.
Yes, it absolutely is. We've seen an uptick in accidents specifically derived from persons using their cell phones. And so we'll be looking out for that. But that is not the only vice that Bahamians practice that cause accidents. Driving without any due care and attention. So if you're holding anything, putting on makeup, eating a sandwich, doing something that does not give you full occupation of your hands, then that can necessarily lead to an accident in some instances.
And so, of course, I guess the takeaway that we should walk away with this morning is that while we will see an increased number of police on the streets, they are ensuring that motorists ensure to adhere to those driving rules that keep all of us safe.
Absolutely, Lloyd. So we're looking at like I said again, the behavioral offenses, and we're going to be out throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and indeed specifically New Providence, looking for these offenses, and more importantly, ensuring the rule of law and law and order.
So that's a quick look at what's happening on the streets this morning. Makusha, of course, police will continue on the streets, and we will continue to provide updates as they are being made available. But reporting here from the intersection of Robinson Road and East Street for the morning edition, Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Well, thanks, Lloyd, for that reminder of the rules of the road. Well, today marking the resumption of tourism attractions, excursions and tours on the Family Islands, face mask and physical distancing protocols are mandatory. Now, New Providence and Grand Bahama will, however, have to wait another week. Resorts World is starting off a new week with most of its employees in place ahead of opening its doors. Key stakeholders on Bimini were given a tour of the facility. Island Administrator Cleola Pinder says the group is extremely impressed with the efforts the hotels made to ensure safety. Furthermore, she says Resorts World continues to be an outstanding corporate citizen.
I think they went beyond what we would have expected them to do. In addition, Resorts World have really been a very good corporate citizen to the Biminites, or to Bimini on the whole. They were the ones that donated the trailers for the quarantine, which we'll try and finish up because we had our own quarantine area, but it wasn't quite finished, so we'll try and finish that up. They also donated the thermometers, so we put them at the port, and so immigration, being the first point of contact, will actually use the touchless or the digital thermometers. And they also donated the dispensers, the hand dispensers, and so today we were able to place dispensers outside of the office, customs, immigration, the police, the post office, the administrator's office. So, yes, all of the government offices, we're placing dispensers, and so they've really been a good corporate citizen.
While Bimini's economy is returning to some state of normalcy, Pinder says they're doing all they can to encourage residents to stay safe and not let their guards down.
Bimini was booming and buzzing before the pandemic, before the lockdown, and it seems like they're gradually getting back into that. I think we have to enforce a little bit more the wearing of the mask. we have challenges just like everywhere else. A number of young people, they tend not to wear their masks, but once you tell them about it, they put it on. They have it on them, mind you, but they just don't put it on. And so we just have to keep, reminding them to wear the mask. We've also requested some billboard signs so that we can put it up and display it so persons know that, yes, it is mandatory. You have to wear your mask. And so we plan to put signage throughout the island. And again, Resorts World have agreed to help us with that because they want it to work as well. They want to assist us to make sure that we do everything possible to keep everyone safe. And so they've been our biggest corporate citizen supporter.
Well, it goes without saying that in recent years, the country's witnessed numerous strong hurricanes, the last just last September, causing mass devastation. Many industries have been impacted from the issue, including real estate. Our Crystal Darling tells us more.
The Bahamas stands as one of the lowest-lying nations on the globe, receiving a direct hit from the climate change crisis. Despite this, the demand for luxury realty is ever present. President and CEO of H.G. Christie, John Christie, explains how Dorian's impact, especially in Abaco, has affected the local housing market.
So to come to buy in the Bahamas or to buy anywhere out of their home country, they're all a little bit of adventurous people. So they're not really afraid by things like that. And in fact, in places like Abaco, where there's been, it's a great opportunity. People are getting good deals now because, storm houses have been damaged by the storm. And some of the people were older, they've been there for 20, 30 years, and they're worried about, their health care and things like that. They can't really come to the islands as much. The hurricane comes, especially if that hurricane insurance they get, they get their hurricane payout, and then they can reduce the price of the home by, significantly. People get a deal on it. They fix it up the way they want. So it's actually been a spur. There's been a lot of sales in Abaco.
Christie says that within the housing market alone, climate change awareness and more eco-friendly building practices have become more popular.
Climate change is affecting it perhaps in a I would say not in a real sense, but in a subjective sense, where people are asking, if you're buying a private island, they're asking now, how high is it? So they're thinking into the future. It's changing. It's a paradigm shift, but the traditional way of most Bahamians when they buy a piece of land is, oh, let's get a bulldozer, and they flatten every tree on it, and then they have to spend a lot of money putting trees back when they could have just kept the ones in there and been, worked around it. So I think it's, it's a paradigm shift that's working. It's a cost-saving way of keeping your landscaping if you keep some of the trees that are there, especially the old like camalamies and things like that.
Christie adds that being energy sufficient is also growing in popularity.
The other thing that people are doing now is, if you're building from scratch, is maybe incorporating solar. And if you do that right, then you can incorporate it into your design of your home, and you can get a lot of energy, because BEC or BPL is now working with the dual meter, so that you can, if you make too much energy from the sun, you can feed it back into the grid. So so you don't really need the batteries and things that you did in the old days. So solar is much more usable now, but it's kind of hard to retrofit an old house and make it work. But if you're building from scratch, you can build things that your solar arrays that are built into the house. The Bahamas is a pretty progressive place in a lot of ways, and we're doing very well.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
Over in Grand Bahama, a newly established modular home builder is expanding its Freeport base with the goal of helping to build weather-resilient homes. Jay Philippe has the story.
Mosaic Modular Homes, bringing a new style of home construction to Grand Bahama. Mosaic's fully integrated modular system slots together quickly like building blocks to create a range of unique, resilient structures. Edward Rice, president of Mosaic Homes, says the manufacturing of these prefabricated buildings will ensure quality control.
We looked at the modular industry and we realized that it's a great idea, but there was nothing out there that was really suitable for places like here. So So we've designed something that is not only very wind resilient, we've tested it to 230 miles an hour, and we've passed quite easily, or very easily. We've also made something very watertight, and something that in future storms and so forth, the water can flow under and can flow past and will not get in the house.
Edward notes that Mosaic modular homes have solved many of the logistical challenges compared to the modern-day home construction. The innovative new home ownership option that is now being offered to Grand Bahamians is designed to deliver a market-friendly modular space in a timely and cost-effective manner.
We've created a modularized house. And how this comes is the modules, when you join them together, the strength increases. So we're very flexible in our design, and we really can adapt any floor plan that someone would like. Once we agree on a floor plan, we will come up with a cost and a price. And at this stage, we would then work with the local contractor. Now, it's very important. The local contractor is very important in this because he is responsible for the foundations. So and also for the building permit and for any outside infrastructure like the supply of electricity and plumbing to the unit. All electrics, all plumbing are already in the house, and so that's all come. So, but the septic and everything is up to the contract.
Bahamian architect Arthur Jones weighed in on the new modular home as an option for Grand Bahamians.
We find what we call the ideal house. This house that Mosaic Modular has is waterproof. So you're going to live in a waterproof house. In a hurricane, you're concerned about flooding. You're concerned about strong winds. This house seems to be the answer for both.
The modular homes are designed to resist winds up to 200 miles an hour, and the homes can resist at least 3 feet of flooding.
We are designing a foundation where you're going down to anchor the house into the solid ground, and then you're going to come up with these columns to leave a lot of space for the water to go through. So you're coming out 3 to 4 feet above the ground, and the water would flow through. And we're designing the house so that it is anchored onto, when we put the columns in, the concrete piles in, we're going to put a ring beam around it because we want to fasten that house to make certain that it goes nowhere.
Interested persons can visit their website at www.mosaicmodular.com. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
You're waking up to the morning edition. We bring you news and information impacting your daily commute. Also, what you should know about your health and well-being. As a consumer, we give you a voice, keeping you in tune to a developing nation in a global community. It's the morning edition, live Monday to Friday at 6:30 a.m. on the ZNS Television Network. Morning edition style.
Hi, welcome to Dream Girls. We offer a wide variety of hair care, and your everyday beauty needs.
Here at Dream Girls, we carry a wide variety of products for natural or relaxed hair, such as ORS, Care, and Shea Moisture. We also carry a large selection of weaving, braiding, and crochet hair. You can expect to find a private wig room, a large variety of products, and service with a smile. Whether you're shopping for a party, a corporate event, or your everyday working woman, Dream Girls can make your dream become a reality. Live your dream, experience your dream, Dream Girls.
We have 3 convenient locations to serve you: Village Road Shopping Center, Prince Charles Shopping Center, and Legacy Plaza located on Prince Charles next to BTC Cash and Go. Here at Dream Girls, enhancing beauty becomes your reality.
The natural resources of the Bahamas play a critical role in supporting Bahamian livelihoods. For example, the fishing and tourism industry, which include fishermen, seafood exporters, hoteliers, dive operators, restaurants, and others. Collectively, they generate approximately $1.5 billion a year. Therefore, we must respect and preserve what we have. These resources belong to us.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
So let's all do our part to maintain our local economy and a good quality of life. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
Months into a national effort to stave off COVID-19, and the struggle is real for many here in the Bahamas. The good news is that one government initiative continues to assist in a meaningful way. Lloyd Allen has more.
Lend a Hand Bahamas is working to assist hundreds of Bahamians with food and shopping vouchers as the number of unemployed continues to climb. This as a result of economic challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. Ms. Deanne Burrows, Program Director at Lend a Hand Bahamas, explains the assistance comes by way of the government's Food Assistance Task Force, which joins forces with a number of NGOs to provide food parcels to challenged families.
Each NGO is responsible for a zone. Now, Lend a Hand is responsible for the city zone, which includes from Fort Charlotte back to Marathon Mall. Currently, we are looking at feeding like over 11,000 people. Once the site is up and running properly, then we are going to be seeing a much more increase, as we're going to ask the people to now register on rapidbahamas.com.
Burris says agents on the ground assist with logistics and registration of recipients.
Initial registration began several weeks ago, which we had our own link, and so we gave smartphones to different agents who went around house to house, and we registered them on our database, and we collected information, and then we contacted them. We used to do like delivery because the country was like partially closed down, so we do deliveries on Saturday, and so we used to go house to house and drop off the bags for them in a different community. As the country is open up now, we find agents in each community, and then we start to have a distribution center.
One of those centers is Catherine of the Eagles Ministry in the Coconut Grove community.
This is something what we do on the whole for our church, as outreach, provide food parcels. So when the initiative came about and they asked, we jump on it because it will be a continuation for what we do here in the Grove. And this is a difficult area to deal with because we have a lot of persons who really need.
Cooper says the package of food includes a variety of products set to help families meet food needs in difficult times.
A 5-pound bag of rice. They have sugar, cornflake, 4 mackerels, 4 tuna, 4 cream. They have noodles, some other stuff in the bag, also cream. So it's some stuff that could help them along the way. They could probably just buy some meat if they need to.
She also encourages those in the community who can assist others who are struggling to do the right thing and lend a helping hand.
I would say the strong out of bed, the infirmity of the weak. So those who are in a position to assist in whatever way they can, whether it's financially, spiritually, physically, even this initiative with the food, this Lift a Burden, persons, whatever they get from NIB or other places, they're able to put towards their bills. But at least this could secure feeding for their family for however long the program lasts.
Organizers say many who come out for help are anxious, but they continue to do their best to ensure social distancing. For the morning edition, Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.
Well, a key element of the Bahamas Development Bank's rebranding is putting itself on a new strategic direction that breaks away from the limitations of the past, embraces cash flows, and intentionally focuses on global paradigm development. Simply put, BDB Managing Director Dave Smith says it should become an evidence-driven institution through a focus on planning, measuring, and reporting.
The plan calls for us to expand the products and services that we offer to better meet the needs for Bahamian businesses. While MSME lending will always be a part of what we do, our portfolio will look different over the coming years. BDB has always been tasked with serving the entire Bahamas, but we are pivoting to ensure that family islands receive more attention, as we believe that geographic diversification is critically important for economic sustainability and growth. We believe that the work we have done over the last 23 months to restore the bank go deep, past the bone, to heart and soul of this institution. We are not the same.
Young Bahamians continuing to excel, and this despite the setbacks of the global pandemic. Here's Catherine Gomez with a group determined to, well, think outside the box.
COVID-19 has not stopped Bahamians from adding their imprint on the creative industry. And one young man doing just that is Benjamin Moultrie Grant, aka Boat. He started a creative agency called Bahamian Official, which is all about showcasing Bahamians who are chasing their dreams. Boat tells us how he started Bahamian Official.
It was clear that we needed to innovate the way that we approach economic development. And I saw that there was a lot of young people who had a natural passion and an interest for orange economy elements, so music, fashion, art. And I realized there was a lack of space to develop that. And even though people have their natural passions and talents, they need some type of greater body that can help nurture them, help produce that content, and then help distribute it to a greater audience. So Bahamian was just a natural reaction to seeing things like COVID, seeing things like Hurricane Dorian, and realizing that at the core of it, we need to embrace Bahamian excellence. We need to commoditize that, and then we need to actually work to develop that and push it as far as we can.
Boat and his creative team started a project called Break the Box, which is a public art display where young artists will transform a 6-foot wooden box into a creative masterpiece. Boat says he believes this box will create a community and foster creative development that will inspire and create a physical space for people to embrace Bahamian talent.
So right now we came out of COVID pretty well. We launched our own Bahamian Magazine talk show. We did a daily magazine and newspaper as well. We said, how can we take that digital community and turn that into physical community now that we're beginning to come back together? We put this here last Monday with just the shell, and already we have the inside collage and the back walls beginning to be in work. So we just want to keep pushing that to develop and create this box. And as it cements and becomes a finished product, we believe that it's going to bring people together. So I call social architecture, bringing people together. And the end product is, hopefully for Independence, we have a box that's fully designed and an event to go along with it.
One of the artists, Monica Ann Cunningham, tells us why she became an artist and why she had to contribute her strokes to this project.
Art has always been something that really makes me happy and allows me to express myself. So I want to use my voice in order to show or have the difficult conversations. I use my art to promote mental health and give information about mental health illnesses and how we can battle and fight those. So same with this, promoting Bahamian excellence and kind of like making sure that we know our value and like that we could be like amazing and showcase our talent and art to the world.
If you are interested in adding your artistic talent to the box or just checking it out, Boat tells us how.
For anyone interested, we are located here at the Tin Fro Pop-Up Park by the Dundas. We've been blessed to use this space as our the opportunity to host the box, but it's also a great spot where we have pop-up vendors and a great community of people who are genuinely passionate about pushing the creative industry forward.
Boat says Bahamian Official will continue breaking the box creatively and showing the world what Bahamians have to offer. Catherine Gomez, ZNS Network News.
Well, last week's apparent drowning of a male here in the capital prompting officials to reiterate the dangers of not exercising caution while near the seashore. After all, adhering to the necessary safety beaching guidelines could be a matter of life or death. Well, Desmond Saunders spoke to a certified diving instructor who provides a few beaching tips for your next trip.
Thousands of locals are expected to hit the beaches this summer now that the restrictions have been lifted in wake of the COVID-19 virus. But before you take a dive into that water, there are a few safety tips you should follow to protect yourself and those around you.
Partner of Stewart Cove Bahamas, Michelle Cove, has been a certified diving instructor for the past 20 years. She's had to respond to some of the most critical situations out at sea. Cove says as you head to the beach, you should travel in a group, and if you are alone, you must ensure that a lifeguard is present. The diving instructor also says alcoholic beverages should not be consumed while at sea.
Alcohol inhibits your reaction time, inhibits your swimming, and if you're minding after small children, you may not react as quickly. You also want to swim within your limits. You want to make sure that if you're not such a strong swimmer, you wear a life jacket or a swim vest, or you're close to shore. And small children should always have a flotation device on, and they should be within arm's distance away from their childminder, because things can go wrong very quickly. Also, you want to make sure that you understand the weather and the depth of the water. So some common things that happen, people will jump off a dock and they'll jump head first into shallow water, and it may look deeper than it is. So be very aware of your surroundings, underwater obstacles, undertow, if there's current that could suck you away on a very rough day, like sometimes is on Cabbage Beach. Those are the type of things you want to be aware of.
Also, keep alert while enjoying the weather and monitor weather conditions. If there's an emergency, always remember to call for help. For those that fear sharks or other sea creatures,
understandably, we all have to have a healthy respect for sharks. So there's different situations. Sharks are more active at dusk, so it's probably better not to swim at dusk. But in general, sharks are not interested in people as food. If you have somebody hand lining off the shore nearby, it's probably not a good idea to get in the water, because or spearfishing. Most accidents happen when there's spearfishing or flailing fish or some other situation. In other countries or in low light areas, they mistake you for food because the visibility is low.
Michelle Cove believes that these beach safety tips are vital for a safe and enjoyable experience. Desmond Saunders, ZNS Network News.
Well, you're watching the Morning Edition. We have more coming up for you.
We Buy You Sell offers the best in impact windows and doors. The first line of defense in protecting your home and family with premium designs and affordable pricing. We can make your dream home a reality. We also stock a wide variety of tiles such as porcelain, mosaic, and plank tiles. We offer the lowest rates in the country. Located at number 163 Robinson Road. Call 677-2856 or 324-6427. We Buy You Sell. Come and see us today.
Listen, when you're getting some gas at the gas station, when you're shopping at your favorite grocery store, how you know you're getting exactly what it is that you pay for? BBSQ, the Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality. Now, they got a team of professionals trained and working all the time to ensure quality and safety of goods and services. They are doing something called metrology.
Metrology works to protect consumers from receiving inaccurate quantities of goods purchased and measured, and to protect sellers from delivering excess amounts of goods due to the use of inaccurate measuring instruments.
They have equipment to go in the stores and gas stations all over the Bahamas.
What do we use to verify the accuracy of volume at your favorite gas station, you may ask? A test measure. This is a volumetric standard used to verify gas, diesel, and other liquid dispensing devices.
They use the weight to ensure the scale is reading properly.
Now, when it comes to grocery stores, we use these mass standards. These are specialized equipment used to verify that instruments like weighing scales are accurate.
BBSQ is making sure the consumers are getting their money's worth and that the businesses are getting treated fairly. Because of the work BBSQ does behind the scenes and in the field, quality is a guarantee.
Influenza, or the flu as it is commonly called, is a viral illness that usually occurs between the months October to March. The virus is transmitted from person to person through coughing, sneezing, or talking. Symptoms include fever, cough, headache, runny nose, generalized body aches, and fatigue. There is no specific treatment for the flu, and the symptoms usually dissipate after 3 to 7 days. Because it is caused by a virus, antibiotics are not used to treat the flu. Persons are encouraged to rest and drink lots of fluids. Panadol is recommended for fever and body aches associated with the flu. However, aspirin should be avoided due to the risk of bleeding. To decrease the spread of flu, persons are encouraged to get their flu shot annually and practice good cough hygiene. Additional information can be provided by your community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Well, the countdown is definitely on before Bahamians show their national pride as we celebrate our country's 47th independence on July 10th. Despite the new normal, the lingering threat of COVID-19, one local designer and her team making sure that Bahamians have the right mask needed for the big celebration. Our LaDon Davis stopped by the decorator's den to get a peek of the new Independence line.
Independence, more. In a matter of days, the colors of the Bahamian flag, aquamarine, gold, and black, will be flying high on everything imaginable as we celebrate and reflect on 47 years as an independent nation. But with the new normal, face masks are in high demand, and the decorator's den design team are now hard at work sewing up masks to create quality products for all Bahamians near and far. Owner Linda Stubbs showed off her new Independence line and says she can't wait to see Bahamians show off their national pride.
What I'm wearing is one of the looks. It's, something you can wear with a tank top, and it's nice and cool because the air gets into it, so it's, it breathes well. And then the mask is built into it. So it has more of that sort of Arabian kind of look, This mask has a respirator, so if you're wearing it for an extended period of time, you get air coming in and filtering out as well. Your basic black for the male that says Bahamas, and then we're showing off the coat of arms as well. Another great look.
Stubbs says sales have gone through the roof and patrons have been purchasing multiple masks all at once. She says this year a trivia question has been established to award the lucky winner with a special gift.
For the person that can guess what we're going to be displaying, because of course, the design team is charged with the responsibility. This is our 18th year to produce the Independence Decor in Rawson Square. And so last year, we showcased the coat of arms, and this year, we want you to guess what we're going to be putting on the Senate building. If you're able to guess what we're going to be using, it's another symbol. If you're able to guess it and give us an idea as to how we're going to present it, you don't have to be spot on. Just give us an idea. Then we will gift you with 2 masks, compliments of the design team.
Stubbs says the COVID-19 pandemic, coupled with the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian, put a damper on the country's independence celebrations. However, she says Bahamians must not let this stop us from showing how proud we are to be Bahamian.
Even with our Independence Decor, it was a challenge because we're starting late. Usually we're done by July 1. Because of COVID-19 and, of course, still feeling the effects of Dorian, it was really tough on the country financially, and so they decided we can't not celebrate independence, which is our most important national celebration. And so I've been given the charge to ensure that the city square is decorated beautifully.
Now, meanwhile, the deadline for the Independence trivia question is on Sunday at noon.
Well, the Bahamas has had many great sporting moments since 1973. This morning, our Charles Fisher speaks with someone who has been around to witness most of them.
He's been traveling and supporting Bahamian athletes for so long. Actually got started in 1978, following in the footsteps of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Many may know him, Stanley Mitchell.
You guys got television in 77, and I got jealous because I used to use those little 8mm things. I said I got to step up my game and see if I could actually use a real camera. So I got the first VHS cameras to do weddings on weekends and then sneak out to do sports afterwards. And I've been doing it since then.
There is one event that has set the tone for Bahamian athletes since 1973.
Rifter did a great thing for track and field. Once that came here in 76, the whole level of track and field went up. Because you could measure, you could be here, you go to Carifta, you know, if you run against Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, the big guys in those days, and where you finish, that you would be at a certain level, and then you could start to plan, your coaches could start to plan how we're going to, you know, get to the top. So there's a measurement. I've been to 30-some Cariftas. I don't miss it. It's like a religion. I'm never here. We pray that it don't be held here so that we could go there, but, you know, and watch the levels grow and watch everything come up.
Okay. After more than 40 years covering Bahamian athletes, what stands out?
1996, when Chandra Stirrup ran fourth in the 100-meter final. It wasn't that she was just there, it was unexpected to many that she would be that close to Gail Divas, early and Audie, and if she'd leaned at the tape and all of that, it gave me goose pimple. You know, the Golden Girls. That was magnificent. That goes down as the #1 in my books. Pauline was robbed, or that would have been a tremendous thing for her to win it there and get the medal there, you know, and the flag go up in the stadium, but it was not to be. There have been so many great things. Donald Thomas in the high jump and winning the gold, and seeing him stand on the podium with two guys who are like 6 inches each taller than him.
And then there are some moments that just leaves you breathless.
Obed's boxing championship is par none. To win a world title against all the best in the world. Michael Sweet Bells is winning the ring with, you know, you can't beat that. Oh, and my friend, Adam Brister, him winning a ring and the bunt that went around the world that brought so much attention on the, they still talk about it now today. If Cincinnati is playing, or you know, even in the World Series, if they're not, they still mention that feat and the pictures of it, videos of it, and the controversy surrounding it.
And over the years, he feels it's better to host our own local games than bring in international events.
I'd rather have a Bahama Games than an Ali or a World Relays. I know it's a good chance to get your people to see their own athletes on home soil, and you get that thrill, but that does nothing. Takes a lot of money out of the system, puts nothing back.
So let's put this trick question to Mr. Mitchell. Just how old are you? Seems like you've been around since...
If you're old as I am, you're used to, you know, the old days when you had 3 stations, ABC, NBC, and CBS, and you had an antenna that you had to turn to get a signal, and you're just waiting and hoping you could see Andre do something, or Tony Curry do something.
Those were the good old days. Now that I'm old myself, happy Independence, Bahamas, from the Morning Edition. I'm Charles Fisher.
Well, let's get you up and going, and for that we turn to our Natasha Brown.
Come on down, Natasha Brown has got you with the ultimate fitness.
Hi, good morning, and welcome to another Downtown segment. Get up every morning and tell yourself, I can do this. Thank you for joining me this morning for a very interesting session. Today, we're going to talk about digestive health, meaning if our digestive system is not working properly, that simply means that our blood is malnourished. This morning, I have with me Nathalie Lacroix, who is now going to take us through a very interesting session as she explains the importance of digestive health.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Holistic Lifestyle again. You know, when God made us, He made us with many different systems, the digestive, the skeletal, the muscular. And we're going to zoom in specifically on the digestive system this morning. The purpose of the digestive system is to fuel the blood. It's like pulling up to the service station, putting fuel in your car so the car can go. If there's insufficient nutrients, our bodies malfunction. One of the reasons the digestive system malfunction is because of what we are doing. We're not eating enough high-fiber foods, and that's plant-based foods, your fruits, your vegetables, whole grain foods, and also drinking enough water. There are two things that are needed for regularity: enough water and enough high-fiber foods. 3 meals a day is the recommendation. Try not to eat it more than that. Most of us overeat, and we're eating refined carbs and a lot of animal protein, and so that the fecal matter tends to be stagnated in the body. From your mouth to your anus is 32 feet long. 32 feet long, okay? The food has to be properly masticated from the mouth so that when it reaches the small intestine, it can absorb into the bloodstream and fuel your cells and ultimately fuel your organs and the entire body. There are a lot of persons who are not getting proper bowel movements, and so the colon sort of doesn't function the way it should. We should be passing after every meal. Some persons are getting 1 and 2 movements per week. That's not enough. Persons are going into the physician for a visit because of abdominal pains, and they're just discovering that the colon is, impacted with waste. The colon can actually fit up to 40 pounds of fecal matter. And so one of the modalities that we do here is called colon hydrotherapy. Is colon hydrotherapy new? No, it's not. It's been around from the early 20th century. It started then, and it has just mushroomed here in the nowadays. Some physicians have this machine in their office that they use because they know the correlation between proper health and a proper digestive system. So how this works, everybody uses their own disposable tubing. We put a small tube into the rectum very gently. It's safe, it's effective. We have doctors who send persons here when they notice that they're needing it. We have persons who walking up the street. So we use disposable tubings, and it goes about 1 inch to 1.5 inches into the rectum. The piece that's hanging out, we attach 2 tubes. You can see the client is lying comfortably on the bed with the tubes connected to the equipment and a little tube connected in his rectum, okay? And what we do a short fill empty effect where we allow water to gently go into the colon, very gingerly. It's a flowing process. Some people think it's a suction. We cannot suction because the colon is too delicate. And so right now we're giving him a nice slow fill. The water is going in. When enough water is going in, we put it on empty. Whatever's loose enough will flow out through the tube. One session, you're basically going to release about 15 to 20 bowel movements. And some persons might say that's a lot, but that's not a lot considering how much fecal matter lingers in the colon to the tune of 40 pounds. You would know that you are in need of a cleaning when your stones are small, lumpy, infrequent, smelly. Feces should not smell and use the bathroom. People shouldn't be able to tell what you were doing, okay? Some persons have halitosis, really bad breath, joint pains, insomnia, and the list goes on and on, okay? So I encourage you to come and have one of these done. Are you going to use colon hydrotherapy as a means of elimination? No. We want to use it just to give you a jump start, get you on the path to wellness, offer you some lifestyle change tips. And so right now I'm going to give Mr. Monroe an opportunity to just speak about how colon hydrotherapy has helped him in addition to lifestyle change.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I'll advise anybody to try to come up here and get this done. But I was in a bad state. I was weighing 250 pounds. 250, and my blood pressure started on me and started getting sugar, and I don't have none of those no more. So my weight is down now to 230 pounds right now. I walk the bridge every morning, I exercise, I drink a lot of water. Okay.
Until next time. Wow, what a powerful moment. Until next time, I am Downtown Natasha Brown, keeping you healthy, safe, and energized. I am the ultimate me.
This
This weather report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the bank of solutions.
With that, we wrap up the morning edition. From all of us here, make it a fantastic Monday.